and welcome to this class. In today's lesson, we want to talk about matter. Matter is anything that has weight and it also occupies space. Like your book, if you measure your book, you will get a certain weight. So it has weight, and when you keep it in a place, it will take the space of that place. So it has weight and it has a space. Where you sit, you are occupying a space. Where your book is, it is occupying a space. Where your pencil is, it is occupying a space. So whatever you can keep somewhere and it occupies a space there, and it also has weight, we call it a matter. So it means that almost everything we have on earth is a matter. Human being is a matter. Even the earth itself is a matter because earth occupies space and it has weight. If there is any way we can determine the weight of it, we find out that it has weight. Human being will have weight and we also occupy space. So most everything we see around is a matter. Example: table, books, biro, human beings, water, even chlorine gas, even gases, they are all matters. So anything that has weight and occupies space is called a matter. Matter is divided into three types. So we have three types of matter. We have solid matter, we have liquid matter, and we have gaseous matter. So three types of matter, or the states of matter that we have: solid, liquid, and gas are the states of matter that we have. So the states of matter that we have solid, we have liquid, and we have gaseous matters. So these are the three types or the three states of matter that we have. In this lesson, I'm going to show you the difference between solid, liquid, and gas. How we know solid, liquid, and gas is the way that their molecules are arranged. Every matter is made up of tiny substances or particles that we call molecules. This means that if you get any matter, any object, and you start dividing it, there is a particular point it will reach and you cannot divide it further. That one that you cannot divide again, we call it an atom. An atom of the same object, we call it a molecule. So when we are talking about the atoms of the same molecule, we call it a molecule. So the molecules of a particular object determines the way the molecules are arranged, determine whether it is a solid, liquid, or a gas. For solid, the molecules are arranged this way. They are very close to each other, very tight. And because they are very tight, very close to each other, they don't move. They can only stay one place and are shaking, so they don't move around. But for liquid, they are more free. Liquid, they are packed this way. They are close to each other, but they are not as close as that of a solid. See that of solid, they are very close. But see that of a liquid, at least they have small space, so they can move small. But that of solid, they don't move. And that is why we see solid as a rigid object, something we can hold, something that has a particular shape, because they will come together and they don't want to leave, they don't like to move away from each other. So you can actually hold a solid. That is why we can hold a solid, because they are always close to each other. They form a bulk that we can hold. But for liquids, they are not very close to each other, so they have freedom to move, and that is why liquid can flow. We can pour liquid, they can easily move. Pouring something means that the molecule will be moving from one container to another container. So because the molecules are not too close to each other, it will allow the molecules in the liquid to move. So when you want to pour it from one container to another, the molecules are free to move from one container to another. That is flow. So liquid can flow because they are not very close to each other. But solids, they cannot move because the molecules in the solids, they are very, very close to each other. They don't allow the molecules to move. For gases, they are very, very far apart from each other. This one will stay like this one will stay like this. So they are not close at all to each other. And that is why gases, wherever you keep a gas, once you open a container of gas, it will evaporate, it will move out. They always want to move. Their movement is very, very high, and they don't like to stay close to each other at all. So once you open a container of a gas, all of them will escape. And gas, any container you put it will fill the container immediately. All of them, they will move. They would like to stay as far apart as possible from each other. They don't like their molecules to come together. So that is the difference between solid, liquid, and gas. In solid, the molecules are very close to each other. In liquid, the molecules are close, but they are not very close like that of the solids. And in gas, they are not close at all. They don't like to stay together. They are very far apart from each other. The ones that have the highest movement, they are said to have the higher energy. In gases, they move more. The movement in gas is higher than that of liquids, and that of liquids is higher than that of solid. That means that the energy of gas is higher than the energy of liquid, and the energy of liquid is higher than the energy of solid. What we are talking about is kinetic energy. You know, we discussed in the other class that we have two types of energy: potential energy and kinetic energy. And kinetic energy is the energy that is used in movements. So the kinetic energy, because the molecule of a gas moves faster than the molecules in liquid, and the molecules in liquid move more than the molecules in solid. It means that the molecules in a gas, they have higher kinetic energy than the molecules in liquid, and the molecules in liquid have more kinetic energy than the molecules in solids. So these are few things that we have to know about solid, liquid, and gas. The movements in solids, they don't move at all. Liquid, they move small, and gas, they move very, very fast. Solid, they are very close to each other. Liquid, they are separated from each other, but they are not too far away from each other. But gas, they are very far. They are well separated from each other. And energy of gas is higher than the energy of liquid, and energy of liquid, kinetic energy, is more than that of solids. So I've given you the difference in terms of their arrangement, the way they stay together, and I've given you the difference in terms of their movement, and I've also given you the difference in terms of their energy. Now we can convert these states of matter. I said that these three types of matter, that is the solid, liquid, and gas, they are called the states of matter or phases of matter. We can convert from one state to another. That means we can convert a solid to liquid, and we can convert a liquid to gas. This is seen in something like ice. Ice and water is still a form of water, but when the water is solid, we call it an ice. When it is liquid, in a liquid form, we call it normal water. And sometimes when we heat it, it will evaporate and turn to a vapor. It will turn to a vapor or a gas. The gas of a water is called a vapor. So when it turns to a vapor, it will evaporate. So, so we can convert solids to liquids and from liquids to gas this way. Solid to liquids and liquid to gas. Okay, we have solid, we can convert it to liquid, and liquid we can convert it to gas. If we convert the process of converting solid to liquid, we call it melting. That is, if you have your ice and you want to convert it to liquid, we call it melting. You have to heat a solid to convert it to liquid, and that's your liquid. You can even convert it back to solid. If you want to convert your water, normal water, to solid or to ice, what do? You put it in a fridge to freeze it. So we call the process of converting from liquid to solid freezing. And you can convert your liquid to gas. The process of converting liquid to gas, we call it vaporization. That is the process of converting liquid to gas. And the process of converting gas to liquid, we call it condensation. We can convert gas back to liquid. That is, if we have our gas, our water vapor, we can turn it back to water. And how do we do it? It is through a process we call condensation. And we can also turn solid directly to gas without passing it through liquid. We can move it straight to gas. So converting solid straight to gas, we call it sublimation. And converting gas again back to liquid, back to solid, we also call it sublimation. So whether you are converting from solid to gas or from gas to solid, it has the same name, and the name is sublimation. So this is the way we can convert the states of matter, that is solid, liquid, and gas. So I hope this lesson is clear. That is what we have here. We have discussed the different states of matter, solid, liquid, and mass, and how to convert it from one state to another. And we have shown the differences between the solids, liquid, and gases. Thank you.